What's up, everyone? Here we go for another first impression BJJ episode. But first, I would like to ask you guys a huge favor. If you can subscribe, like, and share the channel, that will be a great help so we can keep up with our content. And by that, try to motivate more people to train Jiu-Jitsu. Today, as guests, we're going to have Mike Nukem, a friend of mine, training Jiu-Jitsu since 2009, back in Rio de Janeiro. Now he's living here in Canada. And finally, I got him to share a little bit of his experience with us. And I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you very much. So, hey, Mike, how's it going?
Everything's fine, my friend.
Sounds good. So today I want you to talk a little bit about yourself first, and then we can, get into your martial art life. Tell a little bit about yourself.
All right, my name is Mike Michel in Portuguese, but Mike is easy for everyone in North America. I'm a new Canadian. I have 6 years of Canada. I'm a business guy. I'm a procurement guy, and I'm currently working with procurement and also with drywall, which I love. Where I met my dear friend Calvin, and I have a long time with martial arts. I got my blue belt in BJJ back in 2011. And with the it's not a curse, but with the blue belt, the blue belts leaving the dojo, I'm just trying to come back and just get back on track. That's what I'm trying to do. And with Cambridge BJJ, we'll be there.
Awesome, for sure. I can't wait for that. Unfortunately, we have to wait because of this COVID situation that everyone is, living off, and we gotta wait and see how we're gonna deal with it and actually be back open so we can start training again, right?
Yes. It's just a matter of patience. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. But so you just mentioned that you got your blue belt in 2011, right?
Yep.
And you started at 2009, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. In the end of 2009, I started. Scared as heck when I started BJJ. I was very scared to begin with. That actually reflects a lot in my role game. And I got my blue belt in 2011. I trained just like in 2012, in the early 2012, probably 2 to 3 months, and then I stopped. And then things started changing. My life started changing. My career took me to several different ways. So I had to give it a pause. In 2010, I got married, and so I was recently married. I was trying to move from Brazil to Canada. So many things were happening back then. So I had to just like give it a halt. And as soon as I arrived in Toronto, actually in Canada, I was searching for a gym to join with. So I called my guys. My guys are from Kyoto BJJ. My blue belts from Kyoto BJJ in Rio de Janeiro. And I called them and asked, hey, do you guys have anyone in Canada, in Toronto? They said, no, we don't have anyone there. The closest would be just like miles away from here. And I was like pretty skeptical. Yeah. Now I'm happy.
No, I get it. It's like it would be great to be part of the same family, even though you're really far from Rio. You could train at something that would be affiliated. Would be great, right? Like, would be the same atmosphere. I believe so.
Yeah, exactly that. So it's pretty. I think it's in the culture, the BJJ culture. It goes way beyond the mat. So there's a lot more into training with people that you like, you respect, that you can treat as a family than just like joining in a gym and hey, I'm just here getting right. There's a lot of trust going on.
No, exactly. That's true, man. That's true. But let's go way back. So do you remember how was your first class of BJJ?
Yes, I remember the first week entirely.
Okay, so let's go. Tell me about. Okay, let's go for the first day. Do you remember how was the feeling getting at the gym and like, you know what? Let's do this. How was it?
All right, so it was quite funny because I just joined. I wanted them to not to feel that I was super rookie, but I didn't want them to think that I was thinking of way beyond about above myself. I was right in between, but I didn't want to bring any attention. So it was pretty complicated because I wanted to make a point. When I joined, I started like at Kyoto. There's a lot of, it's very tribal, right? So there's a lot of things that you just like exchange with other students that you learn on the go. So
Exactly.
when we started, the first class was just like, hey guys, let's warm up, turn the music on, let's roll 4 rows, just in one shot.
First
It was
day,
like that.
first
My
day.
first class, first, basically the entire week was like that. So
Wow.
I just had one class of technique, and everything else was just like roll with the black belts. Just like there's a black belt, very close friend. I love the guy. He taught me everything right at the beginning. So he took care of me when I just joined. All right, this is BJJ. So that's how he started. So, and then he started like every day in that week teaching me a bit here, bit there, how to pass the guard, what's the guard, and everything, all the details. Assuming I didn't know anything, assuming that I never saw any UFC or anything. So just
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, that's nice.
it's
That's nice.
great.
I'm sure like things has changed a lot, right? Like from 2009 to 2021, I would say even 2009 or 2015 when I enjoyed like Toronto BJJ and I met like a new whole system of class and how to teach. And I see since I started podcast and I talk to people and some guys like you from Brazil that train for like that train way back and they tell me stories like, oh no, I got to the gym and they just threw me to the class and I was just rolling. And then I was like, first class, just rolling. They like, yeah, man, like right away to the fight, you know? And a lot of people, I'm sure that hundreds and hundreds of people got frustrated right away, right? What was the feeling you had? Like, man, I have to roll. I don't know anything. What did you feel?
I was even more scared because before I joined, that was before I joined, that was a pretty like everyone knew about that though, that mat, right? That gym. And I just like, I'm gonna join them because they just like, that's sore coral belt. That's the guy. So probably this is a real deal. But when I joined, I just like that this is a jungle. I have to survive. So that's so to survive every day because there were athletes, there were people from abroad, and there were so many people that was white belt trying to survive. They're like, all right, so every my game of defense because I'm always defensive mode and try to avoid them to move in a direction that I like. Maybe my left side is weaker. I would just like make roll to the side so I could not expose myself to my weaker spot. So it was about like, actually it was very good because I had to know myself in order to know what to defend from, right?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, of course.
I need to defend from, yeah. So I was even more scared, but after a while I understood that the family, like no one was trying to kill me, even though I could tap out of it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's a good learn. The first learn how to tap, right? Hey, buddy.
Oh yeah, the first thing. Yeah, first things first. All right, tap. You saved. That's it.
Exactly. No, that's true. Like I believe that a lot of people that start this way, they have this type of mode, like you say, like I got in a defensive mode and kept going all the way, all the time I was defending myself and waiting to see what would happen. And then you can attack or do something, right? So I believe a lot of people build up that in their mind and say, okay, no, my game is like being defensive and attack whenever I can, right?
Yeah, yeah. The problem with that with rolling at first is that my hands were always destroyed because as a white belt, I was doing a lot of strength. I was pushing, like, pulling and pushing with a lot of strength, and I hurt myself a lot. So I was not able to train like Monday through Friday. I would train like Monday and then Thursday and Friday, or I would just skip 1 or 2 days in the week, which was not good. But in the tribal way of learning, actually, I learned how to not get hurt that much. I started wrapping my fingers and so forth, and then I was able to practice a lot more per week than I
Yeah,
could. Than
I understand.
before, right?
I kind of understand like the way you were thinking because like nowadays, let's say you want to go back to class and start training as soon we can be able to open. Like myself, I would recommend right away instead of like try to go every day. I would say 2 to 3 times a week. It's perfect. Like to get back at it. And then as assume the machine is running really well, you know, and it's like lubricated and everything is working together, maybe you can start go like every single day. But as a white belt, I understand the feeling of, oh, I want to train, but oh, my hand hurts, I can't really grab it. And then you feel it. Plus you were like an adult already, right? How old were you when you started?
I was 30. We're talking about 2011. I was 30 years
Okay.
old. I'm 43. Yeah, I'm 44 right now. So I was around 30. Back then I was very strong.
Look at this guy.
And I was just
44
like
years old, looks really good. Okay, just to mention that.
BJJ, BJJ,
No,
BJJ.
yeah.
It's barbecue, BJJ, beer, sleep well. That's it.
The life.
So,
I get
so
it.
I was thinking about what, yeah, I was thinking about what made me like firstly because I was busy, right? But secondly, there was something like more like if you want something, you keep doing it. So why did I leave when just right when I got the blue belt? I remember when I was thinking about all the things about my life, and I thought about so I'm blue belt now. The next phase is purple. I just went through a very hard year training wise. I was very sore, very hurt. I had a tendon partial rupture in the meantime because I was training too much.
Yes.
Yeah, and I thought, am I ready for this? And that's what got me I got the lack of motivation I needed to continue. So I think there was the pressure I received in order to become a blue belt was so intense that when I thought, all right, I need to prepare myself in order to go for the pro, and that's where I started.
No, I get it.
Right. So yeah,
It's
like training every week, training 2 to 3 hours a day. I say, hey, I don't know if I can do it right now.
I understand. In life, sometimes life hits us, right? When life hits you, it's just like you gotta solve something. That's why pretty much I believe you here in Canada because you decide change, right? Like, oh, I gotta do a change and I have to stop something that I'm doing. Plus the injury. Man, I'm a big guy on injury, you know, like I have knees, hips, and I understand. I keep going because maybe I'm too crazy and oh, I love this too much. But soon it's gonna be my time too. And I understand like you gotta choose between doing stuff on your life or keep going jiu-jitsu with some injury, maybe get worse and then not gonna be able to do other stuff because you just got really serious injury and something that, but not, I would say like this guy, like Mike, he didn't quit. He's looking to get back on it. Like right now, we just waiting to the gym to get back open so he can like him and me can train again, you know. And like this guy has all the backgrounds of martial art. Like it's not like him say like, oh, I had to stop because of this. And some people can think like, oh, he just stopped because of injury. Everybody has injury, of course. Life hits you. But can we talk a little bit about your background of all the martial arts?
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to live close to a Shotokan dojo, the same as Mashida one, and I would go to train with them every summer and spring, and that was a pretty hardcore place, pretty hardcore. And then when I was 13, I started training with them, got my black belt with 17. I started teaching actually with 17 and 17 in the end of 17 year 18 I started teaching and I stopped in 23 or 20 something. I became a referee. I won championships, and from there I went to do capoeira and Muay Thai, which I've done 2 years and a half each. I trained a few boxing, just 6 months. So I was always into that culture, right? The culture of the Japanese. That guy I mentioned, it was a Japanese. His name is Sadamura Ryu. It's my Shihan. This passed away last year. Well, anyways, I learned a lot. And there's a lot. Back then, there was a lot of. They scared me. They scared the hell out of me. They told me if they know you train karate, you to go to the BJJ mat, they're gonna kill you. told him, hey guys, calm down. I'll try. And then he called me and said, don't tell no one. Tell no one you're training here. I said, all right, it's cool.
This guy's gonna go after you.
Yeah, I was scared. But then when I got into the family, into the Kyoto family, they just couldn't give a freaking
completely
F
different, right?
Yeah, they say, hey, this is BJJ. It's like swimming. Doesn't matter if you ride a bicycle, you need to know how to swim. So it doesn't matter your stand up. Well, the good thing is I had like when you train
what? I never heard this. This is a great explanation. Even though you can bike, but you need to learn how to swim, and here you're gonna learn how to swim, right?
Exactly. That's the divider. So it changes a lot in the way you interact with earth. So the good thing about training everything, I trained a bit of judo, a bit of jiu-jitsu before, but it was just like playful stuff because I was a kid. The way you interact with the ground, with earth, develops me to a point that when I was studying, I knew a lot of nice concepts. I had a good posture. I used to triangle my knees when I was studying the roll on the ground. I would just put my knees on a triangle to get a good base for both sides. I was like no balance and all that stuff. And if someone grabbed me in a collar, I would just go put my head below the arm. It's pretty confusing to others, but all these small things got my teacher's attention. So I was, hey, they gave me more attention. They said, hey, come here. So from there, they started developing me. All right, this guy's good at like back swimming. All right, back swimming. Let's develop the back swimming and strengthen the parts that he lacks. So it was great. It was a very amazing experience when I started, and I never forgot. That's why I'm back.
No, I'm sure. Like I understand when you say like, oh, they saw that I had a little bit not experience, but you actually had good reactions that they maybe didn't know that where you came from, like you're a black belt in karate, you know, and did some capoeira or whatever. So you had like a good reactions that they were like, oh no, this guy has something different. So let's try to help him out, because it's easier to deal with somebody like that. Like I'm sure they didn't get you to really teach you. It's just like, okay, they just show you the way and then you kind of get it, right? Like here in Canada, in US, I would say, we can see that a lot with the wrestling guys. Like you see in college, a lot of guys, you know, a lot of young kids and teenagers, they go for wrestling. And I had one student that as soon as I started teaching here in Cambridge, he was like our first student. His name is like Daniel. And Daniel was like wrestling in college and competing in wrestling. And man, this kid, when his first class with me, I was just unbelievable. I was like, how can you be this good, you know? And then he was like, oh, I did 7 years of wrestling. And I was like, okay, I already get everything. You're gonna be a pretty good, like a top player, you know, and a lot of pressure. This kid trained with us like for a year, I would say. And man, I put him in 2 tournaments. He won 2 tournaments. I gave his blue belt and he beat everyone. It was just like that. In 1 year, the kid was just like progressing, you know, like you said, somebody saw the ability of evolution and said, okay, you know what, I can help you. Let's go this way. And that's how you actually get like friendly and into the family in the gym, right? Like somebody, of course, will come and start to put you with everybody, and then you feel that feeling and you like start to enjoy more, right?
Yes, definitely. And that welcoming feeling is great because it's just like it puts the motivation where it belongs. Because I would go to work and would come back and just like go straight from work to the gym. I would never go back home.
Yeah.
I was motivated to just go there, take my suit off and just go straight to it, even though knowing that it would hurt a lot later.
I know exactly what you mean. Exactly. We try to after work you like, man, I really have to go to jiu-jitsu. Sometimes you're really tired and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna go today. I'm not gonna go. Somehow really getting really close to it, you decide to go home or go jiu-jitsu. No, I'm gonna go train, and you never regret that. right? You never, even though you have a lot of pain after, like, oh, my hands, my head, my hip, my knee, you just like, oof, I did a class today. It was great, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I have Bob, like the Bob sparring at home, but there are days, more than 2 times a week, that I just look at him and I say, I want to roll with this Bob, because I need another dolly.
Bob can do anything,
Yeah,
man.
so yeah, he's good at taking punches, but rolling with him is
Exactly.
not good. So there are days that I need to row today. I need to do something just like more. I need to do grappling today. I need to do BJJ. It's not because I'm not fond of the judo part, right? Pushing and pulling while standing because of my injury, right?
Exactly.
So I'd rather go with the BJJ tactics to go to the ground, because you don't spend way too long like standing and trying to make like a textbook fall, like a throw, like the judo. That's a lot of strength on that. I don't want that. I just want to hug the, hey, come over here, and then on the ground we just swim.
Do you from like from the UX, from your experience from like old school gym, I would say, to in 2009. Nowadays they can have like a different system, but back in 2009, like they throw you in a class, like instead of giving you a first class, like right now, we, instead of getting the new person straight to the class, we give them like a 101 class. We teach them a little bit of movements and stuff so they can get prepared for the actual class. Have like, have you been in another gym before Cambridge BJJ, like in like for to do jiu-jitsu here in Canada?
Not in Canada.
Not in Canada. Okay, so
So yeah,
but you had one class with us, right?
yeah, I had one class with you guys. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was like a full class. Do you like, with your experience, what was like, you can tell like the difference from before and now with the class? Do you, like the structure of the class, instead of doing warm up and going straight to roll, like here, I'm sure we did like warm up, technique, some specific training, then rolling. Like, how do you like this system, or you prefer the old ways?
I like the structure of the training, right? There are benefits in both ways, right?
Exactly.
When you are tribal, like as I call it tribal, I don't know if anyone calls it that way, but when you have like something structured, when you have like you start the class, we have like some ball, like a hose or something to start with, and then like the Japanese way of doing of studying martial arts. And what I like the Cambridge BJJ's like the lesson I had is that you start with the proper warm-up, and then you go to a technique, and then you roll, trying to implement what you've learned.
Exactly.
Right. And that's what I like the most, that structure, because you know exactly what to expect. I got approached by Nedson, the other teacher, saying, Michelle, are you good to roll one more time? So like it's that care, right? When you have the time to take care of each student, and you have enough resources, like 2 teachers taking care of the class, that's amazing. I love it, right? But in the other style, when you go like through immersion, you just go inside of the gym, you just start rolling. There are a lot of benefits if you start with a black belt, which is the 1-1. I have 1-on-1, as I mentioned to you, like at least the 2 in the first week. It was the Monday and Wednesday. I got to train black belt in class. So I just got 1 class with him. That was great because he gave me the first steps. All right. First of all, let's start. Tap 3 times where the guy can feel it, not on the mat. And on the guy.
The best 1-to-1 right away.
Yeah, just tap. If the guy feels you, okay. If you tap on the mat, the guy's not looking at it, it's not paying attention, you're dead.
You gotta make sure he feels that.
Yeah, so it was great. On the other hand, I had to go on survival mode every day there. So there were athletes, there were blue belts trying to get their belts, purple belts trying to get the brown belts.
Exactly.
If it was not a black belt, they would just smash me, just like just roll over me, and I was just trying to defend. And I remember I used to count how many times I tapped in a day, and that number started decreasing with the same guys,
Yes.
right? And then I start counting how many taps I got from some of them. So that was great because I was understanding their game, and some of them. And then I started using the same game they used against me. I mentioned to you in private before, probably just mentioned to the guys in this interview. There was a guy that always got me to 100 kilo, and then he would just like grab my arm, the loose arm, and just go with the leg on top and make me tap right there.
Yes.
Every day would be the same. Every day would be the same. And then I think it was 3 months after I'd done the same with him. I would just go with 100 kilos. I would not make it him tap like that often. Basically, I just got him tapping just probably twice in that year. But I was able to avoid
exactly
entirely.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I was paying attention. The trying to survive actually gave me, all right, I paying attention. I'm not scared about tapping. I'm not at all. There's no pride in that. Basically, I just, all right, I have to learn this. If I have to tap, and then redo, reset.
Exactly. That's a great mindset, you know, because when you how can I say that, when you actually a competitor, the mindset's like really tough, you know, you got an ego, and you don't really want to tap, and you just want to tap everyone. But at the gym, even though you're a competitor at the gym, you have like your own training partner, your family, right? They're part of your day to day, and you got to take care of them. And this thing of not tapping, or the feeling of, oh, I really want to tap everyone in the gym, in my opinion, I think it's something that we can put aside. And like you said, like I have to tap, I will tap, and then we keep going. And that's how we learn, right? Like you said, I went to the defensive mode. I had to watch a lot of people. This guy submit me many times this way. I got to submit him the same way, because what? Because you've been watching, you know, you got to watch like all the people and think like, man, I gotta do something. I gotta play the game. I gotta make something happen. And that's how you actually achieved. By tapping many times, you achieve all this stuff. Like, okay, I can play the game. I know how to do it. And you put the ego aside, right? If as soon you put the ego aside, I think that things start to get better, in my opinion, you know.
Yes.
But
yes, I totally agree.
This teaches you a lot, right? This teaches you a lot.
Oh yes. And I first and to get my blue belt, I had to go to an internal championship, and I fought once and lost once. But when I got to fight with the other guy, it was a guy from another gym inside of the same group from Kyoto as well.
Yes,
and,
like some affiliation, yeah.
And it was just, yeah, the kid was pumped. He just got me right into a guillotine, jumped and pulled the guard, and I was just like, my first glance at the championship was guillotine. It was like 2 seconds, guillotine, guard, and we both fell on the ground. I was on top, and I said, well, all right, let's get out of here, because it's like I went through a lot in the gym.
Exactly.
So I was able to come out and start rolling with him. But the guy was it was so much strength. And I was playing at 80% because I know that I have to save some energy, right?
Yeah.
But that mindset of the dojo didn't work in the championship. I lost 4 points. And then the my teacher said, come on, Mike, why did you do it? And I said, well, I'm just rolling. He said, well, this is a championship. It's not a day. You
gotta put a little bit more effort.
But I never, the one thing is, yeah, but one thing is for sure. Even though I started just like rude awakening, I never felt threatened. He sunk that guillotine. Right? He sunk it. I just like, all right, I'm not scared because I went through this many times and I know how to come out of it. So I just took my time, opened the space to breathe, and then started. You gotta act like
exactly.
you gotta act like properly. And well, I learned my lesson. I earned my blue belt. And the good thing about the family stuff is that what I love the most about BJJ is the ceremony for earning a new belt or a strap. I love it because it's so personal. Your coach,
Yes.
he knows exactly where you are, and it doesn't matter if I back then it did not matter if I win or lose. They know exactly where I was, so they came to me. Hey,
Exactly.
it's like they told me like that white belt is losing your in a waist, and they gave me the blue belt right after. It was great. It was a great feeling, right? It's a acknowledgement that of the effort that I put in the game.
Exactly. And
In the BJJ.
this is something that we can recognize by each student, right? And that's like you said, you mentioned, it's a great feeling because they know exactly where you are. And some people feel like, or maybe the coach not giving me attention or stuff, but no, like they know. I'm sure it's not 100% of the coaches. I would say 70 or 80% that really cares. They're gonna know every single student there. Like there are gyms that you have more than 300, 400 students. I'm sure that there is no way the main guy of the gym knows everybody, but that's why we have different coaches, right? Like you have your main coach, but you have another one that I was teaching you, and then you get to know the other one as soon as you start to get to their class. And the coach that is responsible for that class should know you like his palm of his hand. You there every time you guys train together, he watches you. And it's not like the coach has to go to class, give the technique, and just like chill and not watch or not help. Like I don't really like those type of people that they go there, teach whatever they have to teach, and just sit, get to the phone or do something else, but doesn't keep helping, right? Like a lot of people are interested on selling privates and stuff. Okay, oh, you want to get better, just give me a private, or just get me, let's do privates or whatever. No, like regular class can bring you really far as a regular people. As soon you started, like I'm sure jiu-jitsu change a lot of stuff, like of thinking and physically too, right? Can you mention something that it changed like right away on your mental game?
There's something funny that it is funny. I have to mention it.
Yeah.
There's not a single day I come off my bed without a hip escape. There's not a single day. Every time I'm just like, oh, wake up and just like I just hip escape my bed.
This is for life then.
This is for life. Every time I'm on the ground, back on the ground, I'm using every hip escape possible. Just like doing the things I learned. I think that was huge because I never moved on the ground on my back to every direction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you learn to do many movements that your body are not used to, right?
Yes, exactly. And also how there's a lot of connections that I do with people, and I do a lot of brain BJJ in business and also with friends because you got to understand that some positions you are, even though you're vulnerable or not, it opens doors to attacks or defenses. That is 100% from BJJ because you have to set up whatever you want to do, like
Great point.
5 steps ahead. So yeah, so I use that on a daily basis for everything. In order to avoid aggressive reactions from everyone that's interacting with me, I do bring BJJ at all times. So I avoid lots of problems, confusion, misunderstandings with that kind of mindset, thinking like 3-4 steps ahead.
That's good. That's good. Like I was ready to act under pressure, right? Even though it's at work or street situation or anything, your mental is kind of prepare for that. You just like, okay, something's happening right now. With work, like you mentioned, like you gotta be some steps ahead to solve problems and not fall in any trap and make things happen, right? Like if you fail with work, that means you probably can lose your job or and that's gonna change a lot of stuff on your life. If you lose a job, or like how you're gonna provide to your kids, what you're gonna provide, like, and you gotta be always ahead on the game, and jiu-jitsu helps a lot with that, right?
Yeah, and gives the confidence. I remember one day a guy I was rolling with this purple belt. He got me into a triangle, and then suddenly I couldn't see, I couldn't hear anything, and I said, "Hey, am I dead?" So I was just like, I was so into it, but it was not on my neck, so I could breathe, I could feel touch and everything, but he was so tight. His legs were so tight in my head, in my arm, that I couldn't hear, and I couldn't see because I was totally covered. And when you have that poker face in such a dangerous environment, that changes your mindset for everything else.
Oh, yeah.
So you bring that poker face to your daily basis. So there's maybe you're just like, it probably happened to you a lot. You're driving and someone smashes her car with someone else, a huge accident. You just poker facing, trying to get more information about it. If it was a very dangerous situation, you're just like looking and paying attention to everything. So that I got from just like being a very bad position. That changed my way of thinking. I was just like, hey, am I dead? No, it's not. So, well, at least I have the other senses. I can still fight.
Exactly. Like you said, it's like when I ask you about the structure of life, the structure of class from before and now, you said, oh, there is advantage on both. But that's one good thing, right? Before, when you start, like you were right away put on like to be under pressure right away, first class, and that's, I believe, builds up like a tougher mic, right?
Yes. The opposite side though is when something huge is happening. I'm just looking at it, just like, oh, nice day, and the world is collapsing. I'm just, whoa, interesting. So, so it gave me too much patience, and everything started becoming slow motion after I started BJJ. So it just like sometimes we need some just like pushy reaction, and probably that's the thing that I have to learn in order to come back maybe to a championship. I need to get that urgency working properly instead of just paying attention to it.
Oh yeah, like I agree, man. I agree. And then as soon as time will come, and we're gonna like start training back again, and one day, if we can, we will like be back on tournaments and enjoy that, because tournaments is not only to go there and prove that you're really good or stuff. It's about the experience of learning too, like we get great things from tournaments. I've been in many of those. I won, I lost, and I kept going. There is no point of I'm good, like you win and then you say, okay, I'm good enough. No, you got to keep going. Always somebody will come at you with new technique, with a new movement, with new ways of dealing, and you got to always keep learning. I got my black belt, and I feel the same. I feel I still need to learn. I like to go to class. I be teaching a lot, but I really like to go and take a class. It's great. Like taking a class, it never stopped. The learning never stopped, right? Is there anything that you could say to somebody? Let's say, man, you got some of your friends, the friend that you really like, and they might say to you, hey, Michel, I think I want to start jiu-jitsu, and I'm kind of scared, man. Like, what would you tell them to in pro of jiu-jitsu to get them training?
I would tell them that that every mindset they have can be absorbed by the jiu-jitsu training. If they want to become champions, regardless of their age, they can. If they want to join just to do BJJ with no championship, they can. And some of them might even become black belts. It will depend on them, of course. It might take longer if they don't go to championships, but they will be able to get their black belts with time. All I say to them is like, yeah, I'm a father too. I have 2 kids. I have my family. I have a lot of commitments, financial commitments, and everything. My doctor told me to come back. So if they have the time to talk to a professional, we understand the benefits out of it. there's no way they can, I can tell them that to avoid BJJ. There's BJJ, and the good thing about, as I mentioned, to swimming, anyone can swim, fat, thin, if you are dwarf, if you are if you have gigantes, if you're giant or whatever, anyone can swim, because when you go down to the horizontal, every difference is flat.
Yeah.
And in BJJ, at least you can, with a small person, you can fight just like a giant guy and be confident that you can pull this like a rear naked and win, right?
Exactly. No, yeah, I'm sure.
The motivation I would give to them is that regardless of your situation, professional situation, family situation, BJJ will fit in your life. It's not the other way around. BJJ fits in.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. I've been through that too, you know, like since 2012 to nowadays, life hits you hard and you gotta just keep going. You fit in, you learn that you can do all of this that you mentioned: life, work, family, any other thing that maybe bothers you, still can fit jiu-jitsu somehow in your week, in your month, in your life, because I really believe all the teaching that we have and experience will go through life. Like you said, man, I every single day I kind of hip skip. It's not, it's a funny thing. It is a funny thing, but it is something that you brought from jiu-jitsu, and you can never forget that you learned that on jiu-jitsu. You do that, and all the stuff like the mental game, the 5 step ahead you mentioned at work or at training. This is all small things that will change, and then once you get some age, you will realize that jiu-jitsu, I was being there and I was being motivating you and change your mind to keep going forward, always moving forward, right? The tap system, like, oh, you got to tap and then you stop, is the best way that you can learn stuff in life. There's no time for tapping. When did you tap in life? If you tap in life, you quit. You can never tap in life. But in jiu-jitsu, you can, and you begin again and you learn more stuff every time you tap, right?
Yeah, so the tapping system is perfect, because I think that's the edge with BJJ. Because when you're training like a striking, you're a Muay Thai guy, you can never hit your partner with your full strength. You can destroy him, right? But in BJJ, you can go 100% against the guy and do 100% technique and do the roll with a flashing light speed, and the guy will tap. Everyone's saved. Everyone's rolling again.
Exactly.
But if you do that in striking, you kill the guy. If you do in the judo, if you go judo,
knocked out.
If you throw the guy against earth, like it's over. No one was gonna train with you, right? Exactly. So I think that's the edge with BJJ. I think that's the edge that gave to the Gracie's family such huge, massive quantity of wins in the early 60s, 70s, and 80s. They were winning everyone because of that, because they are able to train their techniques to a full extent.
That's true.
And back then there was no UFC, right? Exactly. So they were training. So everything was about imagination in regards to striking, but in BJJ was reality. So that's the edge. I think that's something. The tap system is bonded.
Man, that's a great point. I agree with you, and I always think of that too, you know, because you can go 100% with your friends, with your partner, people that you don't even know. You guys, you meet each other that day, you go 100%, you tap, everybody's smiling, everybody's cool, big hug, good training. Oh man, you're sick, you have like really good guard, you have a really good passing, and really like your game. And that's it. There's no bad feelings, no ego. Like I said, you have to take your ego out. Ego is good. It's not 100% out. You have to have your ego, but you gotta put it down, especially in the gym, like with your training partners, with your friends, you know, and keep going. You have the chance, always you have the chance to stop and restart. In life we don't, right? So jiu-jitsu has this beauty of always restart until you achieve the point that you want, and then when you achieve, you level up, but then you keep restarting until you reach that again, right?
Yeah. So as a white belt, I saw a black belt tapping. He said, "Hey, I can do that too. I can tap too." The other way around. So the black belt,
Exactly.
the black belt is also watching to me, saying, "Hey, I tapped so much like this guy." So there's something that changes your mindset. So there's no bragging after the
Exactly.
after the classes. In the BJJ, there's no bragging. Everyone is just relaxed. All right, man, see you tomorrow, and etc. And everyone taps, and that's perfect. So I love this in regards to BJJ, because if you roll, you're seeing a different way. Oh, this guy also trains BJJ. If you don't, you say, this guy has something to learn. Well, he has to learn to swim,
Exactly.
right?
Man, I really appreciate all the points of your own mind and brain, you know, putting out here. Um, I have to say thank you very much for the opportunity and the time that you took to, you know, get here on a Sunday, 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning, could be doing something else with your family. But I really appreciate Mike, and man, I can't wait to open up again. We can train. We gonna like just to mention Mike, like we met like I would say not even more than a month or so. He has been working with us doing drywall. This guy has like a really good education. He has been like doing his job for years, but now he just is deciding to go a new path of his life, and he's working with us at you know, doing construction and drywall. And hopefully, as soon as we can, we're gonna get him back on the mats at Cambridge BJJ. And man, I can't wait for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate to be here. Everyone listening, this is a great channel. Share with everyone. I hope to see you in the mats, and let's do it. Oosh.
Oos. Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate, man. Have a good one. Oos.